Hello, this is Mr. Nick, and today I am recording G-level speech. This is for TL number 17, which will be for November 6th or November 7th. Today's lesson will cover unit number 4, what is Venus flytrap? This will include ready to make a speech, the outline, and of course teacher feedback. Today's lesson will be on page 37. And remember, your homework that was due today was to highlight or underline the answers to questions number 1 through 10 on pages 34 and 35. So please make sure you have that finished and ready to go for the next time you come to class. Let's begin today's lesson on page 37, which should look something like this. So in this speech, it's our first expository speech. We're going to tell our audience about something that we are interested in. So before you begin, let's brainstorm a handful of different ideas. What sort of things do you want to tell people about? Do you want to tell people about King Sejong? Do you want to tell people about the history of South Korea? It could be about your favorite animal, the orangutan or a scorpion. It could be about the biggest storm that ever happened. It can be about anything. It's just your point. The goal of this speech is to inform or teach your audience about something. So if you need time, take out a piece of paper, write down some ideas, just brainstorm. You can pause the video. And when you are done brainstorming, I will show you what I wrote for my introduction. So if you need to pause the video, go ahead. I will continue in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so for my introduction, I wrote, of course, I have my greeting. Hello, my name is Mr. Nick. And I say, I thank the audience for listening. Thank you for giving me your time. Now I'm going to introduce what I'm talking about with my hook. Do you have a favorite musician? So I'm going to tell you about my favorite musicians. If any of you know anything about Mr. Nick, you know my favorite musician is Twice. Today, I would like to tell you 3 interesting facts about Twice. Of course, you can use the same structures. This is the same structure that we used to tell people about things in the past. All the other speeches we've written were similar to this. But this one, you have the freedom to write about anything that you want. So in the body paragraph, I wrote, first, Twice is a K-pop group that has members from 3 different countries. There are 9 members in total. 3 of them are Japanese, 1 of them is Chinese, Taiwanese, and the rest are Korean. So I chose my first interesting fact. I included a couple different sentences. I said they're from 3 different countries. There's 9 of them total. And then, of course, I say which countries they are from. So some are from Japan, some are from Taiwan, and the rest are from Korea. My next interesting fact, second, Twice has recorded more than 200 songs. In total, their songs have been played more than 7 billion times on the streaming app Spotify alone. Their most played song is Fancy, and it has been played more than 400 million times on Spotify. So this second paragraph is something I really had to research my own. I had to go onto Google or Naver, find some information. How many times were they played? How many songs do they have? Things like that. Same with the first one. I knew a lot of that already, but I had to double check. So a few pages ago, we talked about how to do research. It was the discussion time questions. Those answers that you wrote down there could be helpful for writing your speech here. But again, think of a topic you're interested in. Try and find 3 different facts that you want to share about that topic and write down the ideas. Lastly, my third fact is finally, Twice has been together for more than 8 years. This makes them one of the longest running K-pop bands of all time. They first started as a group in 2015. All right, so I asked, when did Twice begin? 2015. And I also realized that not many K-pop bands last that long. So that's my third interesting fact. And then, just like all the other speeches that we've done, we need to put a conclusion at the end of our speech. So for the conclusion, I wrote, those are the 3 reasons why I think Twice is great. They have members from different countries, they have many very popular songs, and they have had a long history of success. Who is your favorite musician? Thanks again for listening to my speech. Okay, so again, the conclusion follows the same patterns that we've been using for all the other speeches. So I think this should be pretty easy to figure out. The hard part, or the new part for this unit's speech, is going to be researching and finding information about your topic. Okay, so that one you can use Naver, you can use Google. If you want, you can print out information, bring it back to class with you so your teacher knows where you found your sources. And also, it might be okay, ask your teacher, but it'll depend on your teacher. But in my classes, it is okay to do your searches in Korean, but you need to write all of your information in English. I hope that makes sense. So maybe you can search in Korean, how many songs does Twice have? Then you have to write it in English. But finding the information, if you want to use Korean in my classes, that's okay. But double check with your teachers, please. Okay, so that is actually going to conclude the book portion of today's lesson. If we look ahead at the TL, we have an evaluation test next time. Please be ready to take the evaluation test, eat a nice meal for breakfast, get lots of sleep, study. That is going to be our next class. And then this homework, our outline on page 37, is not going to be due until TL 18, which is 1 week from today. So that gives you lots of extra time to do your research, to write out your speech, and bring in good, well-written homework. Okay, as always, if you have any questions, please make sure to ask your teacher. And of course, thank you for watching.